Hey everyone, welcome back to Uber Crit. This is Miguel. I'm here with Andrew.
Hello.
And this is day 2 of us covering the free, 14 games?
15.
15 games that Epic is giving away.
They real generous, though.
Starting on the 16th?
Yes, sir. No, 17th. Yeah, yesterday they gave away cities, and that was the first game.
You're right. And so today's game was Oddworld, New and Tasty, right?
Yeah, New and Tasty. Released in either 2014 or 2015, I believe.
2014, July 22nd.
There we go.
So this is cool. I like that they did it's a part of Abe's Odyssey. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, I think Abe's Odyssey is like the overarching story.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have Abe's World, they have New and Tasty.
Yeah.
There's whatever the old PlayStation ones were called. There were 3 of them on the PS1.
Mm-hmm. Which I played none of, so it was kind of cool to see what they were, see what the games were like. I mean, I never experienced them before.
I've only experienced them from afar. I'd never played one. My wife, she owns the first one on PS1, or her dad does, and she played through it, I guess, when she was a kid. But I haven't personally gone through it. I know they're revered as classics, but your boy hasn't done it, so...
Right, yeah, same. I did not take well to this game.
You're like, all that being said, fuck this game.
Yeah, kind of. Not really, not fuck it. I don't think it's bad or anything, but I did not enjoy myself playing the game. It feels very much like a game from the early 2000s, or even older. Honestly, I was comparing it to the original Prince of Persia,
like on fucking
DOS, right?
Yeah, I was about to say DOS. I was trying to think. I kept thinking PC in my head. But...
No, wait, DOS is too old, isn't it?
No, Prince of Persia, the original is old.
I know it's old, but I feel like DOS is like I don't know. Yeah, it might have been the DOS thing. Oh, it was on Apple too.
Also on DOS.
Oh, also DOS?
Mm-hmm.
I see. So yeah, it reminds me of that kind of thing, and it really does look like it. So if you are, what's the word, reminiscent or nostalgic for that type of game, this will be your cup of tea easily.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't feel like most platformers nowadays. Like if you were really into the genre or into newer, games that are in the renaissance of the platformers, like if for some reason you were on a platformer bender and you had just got done with Shovel Knight, Super Meat Boy, and Celeste, and you decided to move on over to New and Tasty, I think it would take you aback quite a bit.
Yeah, you would need to divorce yourself from having tight controls.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, when Abe is running around, like, he moves at a decent pace, but he doesn't stop well. It's like you're on very light ice physics all the time.
Yeah, it's a thing with animations in old games back then. They had to play out the entire animation. Well, maybe they didn't have to, but that's what the characters do. So if you're in mid-step, you're going to finish that step. Which gives them a bit of heft, and then they also have like a little bit of a cooldown to it. So you don't stop immediately. You take those little, when you're running and you try to stop, and you have to take those little steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I understand as like a something you would want to include in a game as a developer, just because it's very fluid and natural. Sorry, so it serves the look of the game very well, but it's very frustrating as a player.
I didn't find it as frustrating as you did, but I can understand that. The difference might be is the fact that I played on controller, you played on keyboard and mouse, where
Sure.
I've found historically that platformers are one of the games that just feel better on a controller rather than keyboard and mouse, but that could just be subjective. When it comes to other than gameplay, which is to me it's fun. It feels a bit dated, but it's fun. There's a good amount of variety and challenges within the levels. You can kind of take different approaches to it. I found out after I got done playing it for a little while that I completely accidentally skipped over a decent portion of the levels itself.
Which you loved when you saw me play.
Yeah, exactly. So there are different approaches and different speeds you can take to your playthrough, which is cool because some people when they play platformers don't give a shit about like getting every single coin or getting every single thing. And other people, that's like one of the driving forces of the reason why they play. And I feel like Oddworld or New and Tasty does a good job of balancing that.
Yeah, I can see it. Like, so the kind of side quest you have throughout this is to save all of the Mudokons, which are I think it is the species of Abe, like what species he is, not just like a name for these guys in particular.
So beyond that, though, the story isn't like, granted, again, as of yesterday, we didn't get all the way through it, but it seems fairly well presented. It's a simple story. But one thing that him and I seem to disagree on is I absolutely adore Abe and his voice. You have to like do chirps and do different lines and things, and maybe it's because I just enjoy derpy characters or derpy sounding things, but just the way he talks, it resonates well in my ear holes.
A little graphic. Yeah, no, I am not fond of the voices.
But something that New and Tasty does, which it sort of reminded me of, was you have to... So as you're going through the levels, as you mentioned, one of the side quests, or one of the main objectives of the game that you can't ignore, is you want to be able to save all these other creatures, right, that are a part of your species. And the way you do that is you communicate with them, you tell them to stop, you can do that, but you can chirp, you can fart, whatever, right? And it sort of reminded me of Journey, how you would need to chirp at other people, or supposedly, when I played Journey, no one joined me on my journey. But from what people tell me, that's what it sort of gave me vibes of.
Yeah, it's like I can't think of a game that has a good like not companion, but escort quest. But it's like it's a pretty responsive version of that. Yeah, you can ask the dudes to follow you. You can tell them when to stop and when to go.
I haven't played it, but people tend to think BioShock Infinite has a good.
They think that because you don't have to do anything. She's invincible and she just goes around helping you out.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't played that either, so
So yeah, it's a good execution because it doesn't get in the player's way at all.
Fair enough. So yeah, but beyond that, I enjoyed the music, though it can have some sound design problems, as Miguel mentioned to me, and as I noticed later on, the menu music is loud as fuck compared to everything else.
They have like a trailer for the new game that's coming out next year, and it's just blasting as soon as you open the game.
Yeah. But all this being said, if you're a fan of New and Tasty, if you're a fan of this game, you'll like this game.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the Oddworld games, and for whatever reason you just hadn't picked this one up, or you decided to skip this one, you should definitely give it a play. Or if you are a fan of a little bit of a slower paced, more methodical platformer with certain sections of bursts of speed, then this might be something you're into. Yesterday, Miguel brought up the fact that we probably shouldn't be giving letter grades because we don't afforded the opportunity to be able to play through the whole game. For example, I looked it up on how long to beat, and this game is around anywhere from 12 to 16 hours long. So, that being said, I will just say I will give this my recommendation for you to try it if you added it into your Epic library.
Here's my pitch. If you loved Prince of Persia back in '89, and for some reason nothing else has quite scratched that itch, give this a shot.
Thanks for watching the Double Take, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Bye.